What's up, guys? It's Sleepy of Sleepy's Planet, and this is part 2 of the Moreparz Australia video that we were watching the other day. I break these up just because they can be really fucking long, and I don't know about you, but my attention span is fucking shot. So we're just gonna keep watching this and see what other, like, cursed knowledge we gain about Australia.
Australia has just found zombified bugs. That's right, we are closer to the Walking Dead Down Under than you think. You see, just recently, a scientist by the name of Dr. Francois Broussard made a trek out to the remote savannah of the Northern Territory with the goal of finding and cataloguing brand new species of insect unknown to
People are
science.
fucking weird,
me
dude.
personally, I think we've found more than enough bugs, especially considering that half of them can send me directly into the fucking soil. But what do I know, right? Anyway, on his trip to the middle of nowhere, he stumbled across a colony of spiny savanna ants, which is a pretty normal thing to find out there. However, getting closer, he noticed something a little off. You see, the main ant colony was fine, completely normal. However, the several disfigured and deformed ant corpses clamped onto shoots of grass surrounding the colony like a Bug's Life version of Vlad the Inhaler. Yeah, those were significantly less normal. Broussard, mildly unsettled by the ant gore on his timeline, took samples for inspection and upon getting a closer look, realised something both really cool and really spooky. The ants had been overtaken by fungus.
Big old red ones.
More accurately, a previously unknown strain of the cordyceps fungus, infamous around the globe for its ability to create zombie bugs. And the way it does it is
horrifying,
unbelievably
disgusting.
horrific. You see, it begins with a spore landing on an ant and producing a thin rope-like strand that penetrates and attaches to their exoskeleton. At which point, the ant gets a little timer on his hotbar, counting down to a family reunion with his ancestors. Once inside, the fungus begins to take control of the ant's body and brain function, completely changing their behavior, replacing their colony-focused mindset with one single goal: climb. Its fungus-riddled mind drags its rapidly deteriorating...
Fuck that climbing game. That's all I have to say. My friend Tetra is really good at it. She can do it in like 2 minutes. Me, I don't even think I got past the first fucking area. Yeah, I don't even think I got past the first fucking area, my dudes.
Deteriorating body to the closest high point, which is usually a plant, with its final act being to clamp its mandibles onto the stem in a death grip. Finally succumbing to the infection and being completely consumed, its corpse blossoming into a fully grown cordyceps fungus and raining down spores onto the rest of the colony to continue the cycle of infection. Now look, I know this fungus is found elsewhere in the world, but it's a new strain and it was found in Australia. With my luck, I'm going to be playing The Last of Us against couch-sized spiders within the fucking week.
Yeah, no, that's horrifying.
Who wins? 100 men or one gorilla?
I feel like
to get your answer, we're going to have to look at our fighters for the most anticipated cage match of 2025. And in the red corner, standing at an impressive 6 feet
I feel
tall
like
and weighing a ridiculous 220 kilos, we have one singular silverback gorilla. Stepping into the ring to settle the score.
However, I will say that if you ask a guy if he thinks he could fight a gorilla, like 9 times out of 10, guys are delusional enough to be like, yeah, I'd take him. I'd take him. My dude, you will not take him. You will not take him. That is not how this works. I don't care how strong you are. You will not take him.
Against humanity for what we did to Harambe, this fighter is bringing some impressive physical strength, capable of lifting up to 800 kilos of weight, meaning that if it gets its hands on you, a gorilla is more than capable of picking you up and doing you the same way that Hulk did Loki. Now, on top of being stronger than Eddie Hall, they also have an unreal reach advantage with a 2.6 meter wingspan. which is a fairly major problem because a right hook from a gorilla produces 2,700 pounds of force. To put that into perspective, the human skull shatters at 1,400. So if Winston hits you with a haymaker, your head is going to pop like a fucking watermelon. And with a cage fight following the Mortal Kombat rule set, we can also factor in the gorilla's bite. Because despite being a pretty gentle herbivore in the wild, they have one of the highest bite forces on the planet at 1,300 PSI. That is 100 PSI more than a polar bear. And now, with our fighter statistics out of the way, let's get down to business. Can our gorilla win a fight against the 100 average men in the blue corner? Place your bets. Let's see who comes out on top. Yeah, look, I'm going to keep it real with you. Even with those stats, Winston here is getting bodied. I'm sorry, he's going back to the spawn room. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200 directly. They're hanging out with Harambe in heaven. 100 people. It's just too fucking many. He's getting jumped. However, not to say he's not going to take a few with him. My guess is one guy runs up and gets swatted across the cage like a toddler, shatters his ribs against the bars. Second guy gets grabbed by the leg and given the Hulk treatment. About 6 other guys, cop swings to the head and die
if they're unarmed,
from broken necks. One dumbass is probably going to try to hit him off the top rope and get done the same way that Omni-Man did Nightwing. But at that point, the crowd probably jumps in and realizes that there are still about 90 of them and it's over. Not that the fight even needs to happen, but it wouldn't be the first time we lost a gorilla to human stupidity.
Poor fucking Harambe.
This is the deadliest snake in the world. Introducing the inland taipan, and being the deadliest venom hurdle in the world, I will give you exactly one guess as to where it's found.
Australia. Obviously.
It's Australia. Of course it's fucking Australia. Be so serious here. Where the else did you think you were going to find it? Canada? More specifically, as the name suggests, the taipan is found inland in the outback. Luckily, extremely far from civilization, because this homicidal hospital hose is the definition of size doesn't matter. Because despite having extremely small fangs for a venomous snake, coming in at only 6.2 millimeters, the taipan is here to show you that you absolutely can feel less than an inch, because those fangs contain the statistically deadliest snake venom on the fucking planet. Yeah, taipan venom is a pina colada of pain, containing, but not limited to,
are you gonna get high as fuck
hemotoxins to
first?
cause blood clots, myotoxins for paralysis and necrosis, nephrotoxins to shut down your kidneys, and 3 different kinds of neurotoxin. Needless to say, if it bites you, you will get a headache, vomit up the entire contents of your stomach, collapse to the ground in agonizing pain, and then your heart and lungs will stop, sending you to meet God in under 15 minutes. And that venom is so fucking potent that one bite contains enough toxin to do that to 100 people. But the funniest part of this snake's venom is that in the wild, they only hunt rats and f***ing mice.
Seems
the
like a missed
deadliest venom on the planet,
for, like, more food.
And they are using it to pack up Remy the rat. It's like hunting a rabbit with a f***ing AWP.
That's the cutest f***ing thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Counter-terrorists win.
Dolphins get drunk.
What?
But why? Well, you see, the dolphin is by far and away the smartest animal in the ocean. In fact, they're actually the second smartest thing on the planet, just behind you and me. This means they are smart enough to understand that the ideal way to spend your night is more plastered than Chad and Max on your average Cold Ones episode. There is just
Not
one
to be
problem.
like that, but
Last I checked, there's no bottle-o and Bikini Bottom. So how does a dolphin get fired for all? Simple. They abuse pufferfish. You see, due to the lack of underwater alcohol, dolphins need to find other ways to get their fix, which is where SpongeBob's driving instructor comes in. You see, pufferfish contain this really cool and totally not dangerous substance called tetrodotoxin. What is tetrodotoxin? It's only one of the most potent natural neurotoxins on the fucking planet.
And
This
they just do it
will
for
freeze
fun.
your heart and lungs in under an hour with a tiny dose. And it's the reason why cooking a pufferfish requires a dexterity check so you don't, hit the poison gland and get yourself deleted. Now, puffers carry this as a defense mechanism as poison accumulates in their organs and skin. Why is that important? Well, you see, I kind of lied. Dolphins don't get drunk. They get high on neurotoxin.
Hey, just like me
Pods
for
of dolphins
real.
will bully pufferfish until they inflate, then partake in a literal puff pass. By lightly squeezing the puffer in their mouth, they
Okay, the only question I have about this is my dude said that like this thing freezes your like lungs and shit. How do these dolphins not die? Like how are they resistant to this? That's my like legit ass question.
receive a small dose of neurotoxin, which has a narcotic effect, allowing Flipper here to trip balls before passing the unhappy basketball onto the next submarine stoner. Flipper and friends saw the deadliest neurotoxin on the planet and said, "Fuck it, let me try some of that."
But like, okay, he didn't. My question still stands. If anybody knows, how do they not just die from that?
This isn't a spider. It's a snake. Introducing the Iranian spider-tailed horned viper, as the name suggests, native to Iran, and you are all probably
looks like
wondering why the
Rocky.
this snake has decided to attach a cosplay of the average Australian resident to his tail. The answer is
Like his
food.
skin looks
You see,
rough.
every known snake species is a predator. Some eat Bambi, others eat Remy, and the spider tail, not unlike myself, absolutely fucking loves KFC.
Petting him looks
However, birds
terrible. Not that
famously
you should pet
tend
snakes.
to fly, and last I checked, nope ropes don't have wings. So, how does this viper
Nope
get his
ropes.
zinger box? The
That's fucking
answer
great.
is
I'm
again
gonna use that.
food. You see, birds eat insects, and the spider tail knows this. So, rather than trying to chase his prey down, this lazy fucker has evolved the evolutionary equivalent of DoorDash.
Wait. Okay. So homie's like, all right, these guys eat bugs. I'm going to put one on my ass, shake my ass around to tempt them, and then fucking eat them? That's brutal as fuck. Like, that's metal as fuck. Yeah, no, that's actually metal as fuck. I can't lie.
See, when a viper feels like a meal, it'll start the hunt by finding a nice rocky outcrop to curl up on like a couch. And due to the camouflage on his scales, this snake becomes practically invisible. Once he's nice and cozy, he begins to slowly wiggle his tail back and forth in front of his face, perfectly mimicking the motion of an insect. Think of this as him placing his Uber Eats order. Meanwhile, up in the air, our undercooked chicken tender is flying around when, holy shit, a free meal! What a delectable bug just sitting there on that rock. And so, Tweety Birdie swoops down to grab himself an insect Happy Meal. And just as he's about to reach his meal,
He gets ganked. That's, honestly, that's really smart. Yeah, honestly, that's like really smart, dude. Nature's
this
just
spider
like so
can
smart sometimes.
remove your limbs.
Ew.
But how? Introducing the brown recluse, native to the United...
Oh my god, this is the guy. This is the guy. You guys, okay, so I told a story on another one of these videos about how in college I got bit by one of these guys. And I didn't know that's what happened. Like, I knew that I got bit by something, but I didn't know what happened. And I was fucking broke as shit. I was broke as shit. So I didn't even go to the doctor. Like, I didn't even go to the hospital or anything until, like, I don't know, like 2 weeks later at least. And I had like a 2-inch fucking deep hole in my leg that I still have a scar from. Because my skin, the bites like turn your skin necrotic and your skin starts fucking eating itself. So here I am for 2 weeks just putting a Band-Aid on this and like washing it out with fucking like hydrogen peroxide. And I go to the doctor and the doctor's like, what the fuck, Sleepy? What the fuck? This is a brown recluse bite and you should have come in sooner. And I was like, yo, doc, I had like crowdfund this bitch. Like, I couldn't just show up here. I don't have any money. And they're just like, oh man. And luckily I did not lose my leg, but that could have happened if I had left it for longer. Yeah, no, that could have happened if I left it for longer. And these dudes fucking suck. Brown recluse are scary as shit.
United States of America, and a prime example of don't judge a book by its cover. Because despite only coming in at a huge 2 centimeters in length and
they're not
rocking
big
the
at all.
spider equivalent of default character customization, this little f***er is a level 500 rot build that gives Melania a run for her money. You see, a bite from a recluse starts in the most American way possible, with you accidentally stepping foot onto his private property, causing him to exercise his Second Amendment rights. But considering a spider can't really hold a gun, he's gonna settle on biting your ass. Now, that initial bite's pretty painless. You smack him away, all's well. There is just one small problem.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you are now the proud owner of necrotic venom coursing through your veins, which at first does nothing. You walk back to your house, the bite starts to sting a little more. You feel sick. The wound swells, and the blood vessels around the bite burst, turning it a deep red.
I was still
Over the
going
next
to
few
college
days, that
classes
colour
during
shifts
this entire
from
incident
red
too. Every day.
Purple to black, as the venom literally destroys and kills the surrounding tissue in a process called necrosis. This causes the skin to literally rot and fall off of your body. And if you don't catch it in time, that rot's gonna spread.
Yeah, deadass,
If
you
you're
could
lucky,
die from this.
it'll only make you
Like, I almost
violently
died.
ill and leave permanent scarring. If you're unlucky, it just keeps spreading, and venom starts to destroy your blood cells and shut your organs down. Now,
Yeah.
there's kind of only one solution to that, but you weren't using that arm anyway, right?
That, honestly, with that story, that seems like a good place to end this, because that's one of the wildest stories that I have that involves nature, is that a less than 1 inch spider almost like KO'd the fuck out of me in college. But yeah, if you guys liked this video, go ahead and subscribe, and I will keep on putting out videos. I'm kind of on an Australia kick, so we're doing this for a while, but I am going to get back to my Mass Effect videos as well. But see you in the next video. Peace.